it's like Star Trek, Monakas. All right, Star Trek. For those of you or us that's into Star Trek, you know, Star Trek is really, it's like, you know what I'm saying, they out in space, right? They say space, you know what I mean? And they go into different worlds and stuff like that. Worlds, you know what I mean? But they're going to use the Copernicus model. But however, they make it seem like they're corporeal bodies or they're physical bodies or mortals, and they're going and traveling at light speed, and they're changing the molecular structure that allow for their bodies to go to different regions of space. You know what I'm saying? But however, let me throw this on there. However, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, they're actually playing the role of the Ethereans, because they used our books, they used our stories against us. You know, they used that Owaspy book against us. No conscious individual was never really speaking on the Owaspy. You know, not even a spiritual guru leader was not even really talking about the book of Owaspy, and that was out before all these old so-called said religions. You know, so the Owaspy revealed certain truths about what's going on in the world and what happened with different religions and different prophets and who's the Israelites and the faithists and all of these different things. You know what I mean? So basically, the Ethereans, to sum it up real quick, the Ethereans are like the ones who already graduated off of the earth plane. They became the sons and daughters of the Creator. Some say God and Lord, you know what I mean? That's when the Creator had the name God and Lord, but the Creator is like higher than that, because God and Lords are the higher exalted angels that go out and carry out the works and duties of the Creator. Like it's on in there, like what we need to do. We gotta go harvest this and do worlds and you know, prune worlds and, you know, cultivate worlds and make certain worlds better, and some bring to destruction. You know, the Owaspy speaks to these things. So with Star Trek, we're gonna go with the next generation. You know what I mean? With Captain Jean-Luc Picard in this month. You know what I'm saying? Data. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's running the whole little board. You got, you know what I'm saying, Jordy, he's the smartest nigga on the ship. He's the engineer, you know what I'm saying? And you got my man, what's his name? I haven't seen him in a long time, but dude, the Klingon, this dude was mad. So he was always he was aggressive. And he had, you know, of course we had Spock, but later on we had, you know what I'm saying, in the one with the woman that was in Star Trek, which is the Voyager one, they had Tuvok, and that was a brother shit, you know what I'm saying? So he was from, you know, he was from Vulcan too. So anyhow, when they get into that starship, really, they're the Ethereans at this point. So they're going from world to world, and when they go to different planets or whatnot, when they're landing, they're not really landing on the world like they want you to believe that they're sending shuttle pods down to the Earth and all of this, you know, or down to whatever planet that they're going to. They want you to believe that that's what they do, you know what I'm saying? And they go off because the thuggy dubs, they out here. You know what I'm saying? They want you to believe that, but in real life, when they go to a planet, they stop the atmosphere part of the planet. The atmosphere part is the one where this is where when you transition, you go and live into the clouds. Some of that is true, and this is where they get that from. You know what I mean? They've been using all your stories against you, you know? And so, in these beings, it's a first, a second, and third resurrection within the seven heavens. So there's 3 major points, and if you're like on the second resurrection, you're learning, you know, after transitioning and dying, you're learning how to live as a light being and continue your talents on. But if you're like on first resurrection, you kind of was like more into the fleshly things on the earth. So you wasn't taking heed to the sciences and the stories and you know, the stuff that the Creator tried to get to you. You know what I mean? The Creator trying to give you the science, like, yo, you gotta eat like this, you gotta da-da-da-da-da-da. If you want to get up to the higher point and experience, you know, everlasting life that you're capable of doing, you know what I'm saying? Some species ain't capable of that because they're kind of dysfunction, because you got beings that's on the second resurrection, within their planet, they're going and splicing and making different species and shit like that won't be able to, you know, graduate off the world or the actual planet. We're gonna keep that in play with the Copernicus model, talking about planet. I'm drawing a crowd. And I got my thuggy dubs right here. I'm gonna show y'all my thuggy dubs. You know what I'm saying? Thuggy dubs. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. They guard, you know, they move when the angels doing what they do. So yeah. Anyhow, though, I'm trying to tuck off. Turn it back around. Yeah, so basically the Ethereans are like Jean-Luc Picard and them on generation. They already died and they graduated off the Earth plane, off the third resurrection, which is the highest plane on, you know what I'm saying, a planet that you can get off of, especially this one we're talking about. But in different worlds the Creator created, He made worlds that we ain't never seen before, you know what I mean? And the Ethereans, that's the duties that go to those worlds and map out the worlds. They damn near ain't gonna never ever do it. You know what I'm saying? They're thousands, hundreds of thousands of years old, man. You know, so basically, with the Star Trek, they go from different, when they land on the world, they're not going to the actual mortals. They're going to the heavens, and then they're chopping it up with the beings that's in heaven. Are y'all controlling y'all worlds right? Y'all got this shit going on good? Because I heard y'all had some anarchy, and Most High, you know, said that y'all had some shit going on. Y'all ain't managing the shit right. Everybody getting out of code, you know what I mean? So that's why we showing up in the art, this, that, and the third, and becoming da-da-da-da. And the beings that are playing the false gods, they're playing like they're gods on the earth. They're snatching up the spirits so they can't go to the actual third resurrection or their respective resurrections so they can get off of the earth plane and graduate. This is as so above, so below. You know what I mean? Schools and all that shit is made after your spiritual development and, you know, continuation of this perfecting of your soul. You know what I'm saying? While on the earth plane. But the slick part of it is that the Ethereans, there were Ethereans that seeded planets already. You know what I'm saying? While the Creator was making man on that planet, dealing with the different times and ages. But the Ethereans are so swift, they can manifest. It's like how the Star Trekians, they beam on the planet. They can manifest their genes on the earth. You know what I'm saying? They're just like that, using the elements of whatever that planet is. You know? And that's what happened on this earth planet. The first to walk the earth was the angels. And these beings, they were different. They already knew. They was the first before the corporeal man got on. And they've been on the earth for a second. So with the Corporeans, with the Etherians, it's dealing with, there's some Corporeans on here with Etherian spiritual genes. And they're like the chosen ones. And these Etherians are here watching over them mugs. And these Corporeans and Atmospherians, which is the ones who the Corporeans are mortals, that came with the planet, they are the ones that are like, you know what I'm saying, they're dealing with their atmospherian side of things. The atmospherians are the ones who they already transitioned went to heaven and their heavens or whatever, respective heavens over their lands, and they're carrying out this whole grand scheme of trying to take control of the land and shit, the whole planet, and like their heaven, making their heaven being the highest heavens. But the Creator always comes and corrects that shit like, yo, we got higher power and shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's dealing with that. And that's what these Ethereans are about. And that's what they're mad. That's what they're a little bit afraid of, that the Ethereans will come down and shit. And the Ethereans like, yo, we got our babies down here. What you think we're gonna leave the babies down here? Those are the children of God. The Ethereans are the supreme God of the art cycle of the where the earth is at in its whole little development. You know what I'm saying? There's gods of the heavens and the earth. Yeah, that's the God of the heaven and the earth. Of course, you know, the God of the heaven and the earth are the ones who are voted into being like a president type shit. And they change every 400 to 800 years type shit. You know what I'm saying? 2 to 4 to 800 years. You know, so. But the Ethereans, they come and they just make sure everything's going right. They got higher light. They listen directly to the Creator. Whereas where you're on the earth and the heavens, you're striving to still develop that connection. You're still going to spend a lot of time in the earth realm, striving to get your ass up off of it. And while we're in a mortal form, in corporeal form, the Nagas, who are the soul beings, are the ones who are the most advanced. They still connected to the Creator, like straight to the Creator, and you know, to their ancestors and shit like that. But they try to disrupt that heavenly connection, because that's like where you get your help from, you know. And if you're not pure enough to be able to tap in and get your help, they gonna come, but you're gonna have to meet them halfway and shit. It's like basically meeting God halfway. That's you. That's your family and shit. You got a light family. And you know, you have beings who played, you know, false shepherds that come in and say that they come from them, when they try to make up doctrines and all that shit too, to get you to go to their respective heavens, so that you just won't go. It's so serious. They want the Naga soul so bad, because they know that wherever you go, you're going straight back to the Creator, somewhere that they ain't never seen. They ain't never been. And that's why they want to tell you, get your soul and all that shit, do all these Kundalini sexual acts with you, get you releasing and drawing, you know what I'm saying, all your energy from it, your inner chi, you know what I mean? Pardon something, love it, man. Yeah, so they want you to squander all that energy. But yeah, the Ethereans is how you connect back to the Ethereans. And there's a movie like where you had to get your drip back to the top. This is based in South Africa. I think it was called District 9. And it was these aliens, they couldn't get up off the earth because their ship was just sitting right above and they just couldn't get up to it. But it took them so long to collect this oil to get to the top, to get to the ship, so they can fly off Earth and get the fuck out of there. And it was in South Africa. They was trying so hard, G. I mean, that's a good ass movie, District 9, G. And one of them got some of the genes from one of them. You know what I'm saying? There was some serious shit going on. They revealed some truth in that movie. Yo, with the knowledge of that, you know what I mean? But yeah, as a Star Trek, back to the Star Trek end. Star Treks are basically the Ethereans who go and manage worlds in the name of the Creator. You know what I'm saying? Like the great voice. Like it's how you can hear certain one of you, some of y'all can hear spirits, some of y'all can see spirits. That's a gift from the Creator. That's just part of the construct. You know, you're striving to, you have to be able to master those gifts and how to separate that from just voices in your head of just you and your thoughts, and just basically knowing that this is external things, and then you can form, you know, these are superpowers. You form them together. You have to be out in nature to do it. So if it has to get so drastic that they have to cut the internet off, this is what you're gonna have to do. You have to be celibate, and you're gonna have the semen retention, and you're gonna have to, when you start training to yourself, you're gonna do it with the Most High, be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're developed enough to do that. And so yeah, with Etherea, that's how you're gonna connect with your family, your life family, and they've been watching over you. You know what I mean? So it's just like the Star Trek, they gotta come back and swoop over and shit. I wanted to use this little link with this little hawk, and the whatchamacallit was in there, and the hawk wasn't there at the time, but a crow came in and tried to go at the hawk, and I was like, I just talk about that later. I don't know if y'all seen that, but we're gonna try to put it in. But yeah, Ethereans are your family members, are some Corporeans family members, and they know it because they treat the Corporeans like shit. You know what I mean? You treat them like shit, and the Corporeans are treated like, these Corporeans are treated like shit. They like the Faithists or the Israelites. That's who they are, and it's they are the enlightened ones on earth. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, man, the Star Trek, just give you a mindset, it's the Star Trek. These are the ones that's forming federations in Etherea, and they doing the works of managing worlds. They're not like, oh, look at these white folks in heaven going out and just, you know what I'm saying, just trying to jump in everybody's business like they the moles and shit. But really, they might not be able to make it up there, you know what I'm saying, into Etherea. Because Etherea got their own music, their own jams and everything. Atmosphere, we know if you got some atmosphere music in your life. It's like, oh, that's tight. Watch this. Come on, y'all. You got some music you ain't never heard before. You know, some shit, you like, damn, I didn't know I could dance like that. Because it's etheric music, nigga. Shit, that's why. And then they send them flies around looking at the Naga and shit. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean? But that's their technology on the earth. But when we get to Etherea, we gonna have, ain't no flies, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have it on the first resurrection. You're gonna have animals and stuff like that still on the first resurrection after you transition. But on the second and third, I ain't none of that there no more. It's gonna be just y'all, nigga. It's gonna be all kind of species and shit. You gonna see, it ain't just humans, nigga. You know they having, nigga. These motherfuckers is all kind of things. You see, I seen an angel. You gonna see a motherfucker that can make this up be any goddamn thing. Nigga, they've been on the earth. They've been on the earth plane for a grip. They've been running from the motherfucking officers of the Etherean officers and shit. You know what I mean? They come and arrest motherfuckers. They think they get the officer shit from here on Earth. You know what I'm saying? They trying to arrest motherfuckers. They're always trying to arrest Nagas and shit. Could it be that you connected to the Ethereans? You know what I'm saying? Now the Ethereans gonna be like, nigga, you ain't gonna be doing all that shit and arresting my baby, especially the ones putting in the work. But it can tell. The construct can tell now. You know what I mean? If you are putting in the work. Celibacy, you know what I mean? It's serious right now. We're raising to the flames, and you'll know when to break it if you want to break it. You know what I mean? But to those who are serious about it, they're about their life body, this is what it is. You're going up another notch. They're gonna try to jump with you. You know what I mean? But when y'all separate and you're not creating in their midst, oh yeah, they're gonna panic, G, because it's like separating from a narcissist. It's like the lower worlds. You know what I mean? You're going up higher. And that's what they fear, that you're gonna go on and lead their ass on the next day. So with that being said, I'm gonna say peace. I'm gonna sit back, relax, and show you how we got going on out here. I can hear the water. This is what happened. It's still pulling up. You know what I'm saying? I think it's wars going on, but still pulling up on shores.